You're listening to the Birds on Power Lines podcast, and on this podcast, we typically talk about fandoms and a smattering of other things that excite us. And you can catch a podcast from us every second Tuesday of the month. And in this particular episode of our podcast, we are going into our third discussion of Sandman Season 2. So you can find two other podcasts on that ahead of this one, because this one we're going to talk about episodes 7, 8, and 9. So we have a podcast on 1, 2, and 3, another one on 4, 5, and 6. And we also have podcasts, two podcasts on season 1. We haven't finished it. We're going to go back eventually. But those are, you don't see us. They're on YouTube. They're also on audio platforms, but they're audio only podcasts. So you can just see, I guess if you're on YouTube, you'd see a painting of mine and some animations behind that for those. But if you're interested in Sandman, we've got other stuff on that. So please catch that. Is there anything else that I missed? Oh, did I say that we put out a podcast every second Tuesday? Yeah. All right. So why don't we get into this? So if you haven't listened to us before, you explain what we do.
So we basically just watch things together, and we try not to discuss them while we're watching them to a varying degree of success. And then we talk about them here. We talk about our thoughts.
Yeah, because we do it anyways, so we thought, well, let's podcast about it. So, all right. Well, you didn't write down the names of the episodes. We write. I write a lot. I have a book, and this one, little teeny tiny writing. But yeah, so the season's episode 7, season 2, episode 7 or 18, depending on who you're following, is called Time and Night.
Yeah. So. We did not mention this yet in this podcast. Have mentioned it previously. I'm coming at the show from having read the comics, and you were coming at it from just
not having
show only
read the comics.
Show only.
Show only.
Yeah. So there's some things that are a little bit different. I obviously know a little bit more, but actually this latter half of season 2, volume 2, there is quite a few significant changes to which characters were involved and the exact way that events unfold, and additions and removals, that type of thing.
You keep mumbling about those, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So it's a little bit harder for me this time. So I'm kind of more looking at it just from just more of the similar perspective to what you're seeing it from.
You know a bit more about what's I get a little lost. But
yeah. I remember which characters are who and that type of thing.
Yeah.
But yes. Anyway. I just wanted to say that, the opening scene of this second volume, because volume 2 was released, in context, it was released, I think a few weeks after the first volume was, so it's a little bit of a gap. I thought it was very good, it's sort of it's a good recap, but also for, someone who was just like us, just watching it, straight through, it didn't seem too out of place, because, we see that, Morpheus is still grieving, he's talking with his brother, that type of thing. And I also really liked how the show portrays grief. It doesn't just gloss over it, but it also doesn't linger on it too long. It still keeps the story moving forward, but you do see that characters are affected in certain ways by it. So we have Morpheus, and later we have Lyta, and I know you want to talk more about that later. But I really liked that, and of course I said before, I'll say it again, I really just like the look of the whole Destiny's whole garden. I really just like the look of it. It looked like I really
I'm surprised you say that, because
love the shots in it.
Because it looks pretty.
Well, I don't know.
I'm not saying that it's not powerful. Yeah. But I mean, it's just.
I don't know. I just really liked it. And,
minimalistic.
I thought that the scene, the shot with the huge stone pillars with just Morpheus in the middle. I get that. It made it. I thought it did a good job of conveying the sense that Destiny kind of is almost it's almost absolute, and Morpheus, even though he's quite powerful, can't really do very much about it. Well, or really, things will fall as they may. I don't think any of them can do anything about things will fall as they may. Yeah. And I did like the fact that Destiny kind of revealed he doesn't really know what's going to happen any more than anyone else does.
Yeah, and
I
then
thought
in
it was
another
interesting,
podcast,
yeah.
I questioned what are his powers. Then he just
Yeah,
stands there with that book. And that's
maybe
it.
I don't know, but
Like,
things
do
will,
something,
things will
dude.
happen
Like-
as they will. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah. So I thought that was interesting, and especially like with the later revelation that Time was telling Morpheus, like he basically like Time gave Destiny like his book, like his whole like power. So it's just interesting.
But again, it doesn't seem like a power to me. But
I don't know. Maybe, who knows? I don't know. But anyway, moving on. I also liked the fact that there was more elaboration on like what exactly Puck and Loki were doing. Like in the comics, there wasn't very much like time for them. Like it definitely.
So
was
they didn't
not,
have like the relationship between them at all.
No, they didn't. Like they were both
Oh,
like
okay.
collaborators, but like they it wasn't really very much. They weren't like really hugely established in terms of like motive or that type of thing.
Okay.
And it was just interesting to see that was like different. And honestly, I did kind of like it a bit more because it did add a bit more continuity to the characters. Like if they had done it they just did the stuff and
Well,
like,
yeah, because there
like,
seems to be this
like,
whole thing that's going on with everyone trying to hunt them down. Or
yeah.
So I don't...
yeah. So it was interesting. How they made that change, and I did like it. Like within the context of the show, it does make a lot more sense to have that same kind of continuity. And I did think it was an interesting choice to like kind of portray Puck like in this episode and then the next two episodes to set him up to be more of like a sympathetic-ish character. Like of course he still is Puck. He still is like he still is who he is. But
yeah,
he is set up to be a little bit more sympathetic. And I think that was an interesting choice. I'm not sure if I liked it or not. I don't really feel any
I can't say
either
because I
positive or
don't know
negative
what
toward it.
I don't know what the
But
other alternative
I did think
is,
it was
so-
I did think it was a good choice that they did that. I don't know if I still feel sympathetic
well,
or
it kind
not.
of balances out Loki's
like completely crazy. I want to get as much distraction as
well,
possible.
because
type
I
thing.
think Loki's at the borderline being cruel.
Yeah, a bit.
So you kind of need a balance to
Yeah.
that. Not borderline. He is cruel. But
Yeah.
anyways,
But yeah,
I'll
so
qualify that. Why did I say borderline?
yeah. Well, I mean, it's not as bad as
about
he
it.
could be, but yeah. Anyway, and I was actually, and I'm glad to see, like, I was predicting this in the last podcast. I was thinking that Nula would probably be set up to be more of, like, a major player. I am glad that she was, and she is. And I also am glad that the same, like, of course, like, they kind of needed to keep this in, but the necklace as, like, a plot device, I guess, in this context. Her necklace is a plot device. I'm glad that was kept in, and it did work how they changed it a little bit, to suit like how she got it, because in the comics she got it from Nada. She got it from Nada, but it kind of ended up being the same.
But they said it was. Didn't he say it was hers?
No, he just gave it to her.
Or
That's
maybe
from what
you
I
just told me
remember.
that.
Yeah. I think I probably just told you that.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was actually this first episode. Now I know after seeing like the latest 3, but I was confused as to why Mad Hetty was here. What was she doing here? Like, I was just
well,
like,
that comes out
pretty
9,
soon. But
right?
in this 7 and 7, I had no clue why she was here. I was like, why is she here?
I just thought she sounded it was kind of sinister the way her choice of words. I didn't think she was going to be a bad character. I just was like,
yeah, and I still don't
random.
really think she is like bad as in like.
So is she
evil.
not in the comics?
No, she is in the comics, but instead, in retrospect, so the character that what Mad Hetty was doing in episode 9 was instead done by a different character from the arc that they cut out. So that's probably why they changed it. Mad Hetty was still there, but she was just similar to like a slightly recurring character like Hop.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was interesting. And then I wrote down again, like, they shuffled the events quite a bit, but I am still, like, going back to Nula, I am glad that her departure got, like, a bit more time, that it was, like, okay. I liked it, because I just liked her as a character. I liked her as a character, like, in the show. I very much like her. I enjoy her, and I'm going to say later, but I'm so mad about the fact that she just tries to help. It just it doesn't work. Yeah, but... Yeah, and I really do like the whole, like, Gilbert, Lucien, Matthew... Merv and Nula group. I like them.
They're like a little family.
I like them. It's cute. I like scenes with them. It's nice. And yeah, so then an interesting thing is, so I have actually not read the part of the comics where night and time are introduced. And also side note, in the show, like when they when like with Nuala and Dream talking, and then it transitions into like a zoom out, like and like the crazy weird, like I don't even know, like fish eye zooming swirly lens type thing. I really liked that. That was very cool. I liked that. It's
kind of interesting. They gave the sense of traveling. In a way, and
but it was completely
not,
like crazy.
You know, like
I really liked that.
It's like you're really entering into a different. And to be honest, I thought it was not time and night. I thought it was time and space at first.
Yeah,
because
even Sure.
Night's outfit had like stars and stuff on it, so I thought it was time and space at first, and then I was like, oh, it's got to be time and night.
Well, because they have all of time and space between them, I guess. But yeah, I liked that transition, and I really liked the scenes for like the settings for both of them, like especially like the weird, I don't even know, like sundial.
It was pretty Spartan though.
I don't know. I just liked how it looked. I liked the architecture. It looked pretty cool. But yeah, so I didn't read the comics that they were in from, because they're not actually part of the main arc thing, and they're from a completely different.
I think it was essential to the plot to
and
have
I
them in there.
Reading just the general summary, like their actions are pretty much the same, and it was interesting to see how, like, even though they did it's the exact same thing in different contexts, it did translate well into like the show. And honestly, I'm just so annoyed on like Morpheus's behalf. Like, I feel like I understand why he wasn't like completely pissed off at them, because like, of course, like as he said, like, you know, like, a kid can't help but love their parents, but like they didn't even try to help. They didn't even try.
Yeah.
And like I saw like a little bit of like old like pre-changing season 1 Morpheus, like the whole like kind of detached, like, why should I help you type of thing. I did see a little bit of that, and honestly now in retrospect I understand why you saw
that in the Dream?
In the
parents.
I saw that in the parents, like the old like the why should I help you like type thing. And I now like it really makes you think about and understand like why he was like so like kind of just
I have a lot to say about that
about really people in general.
I just don't want to get into it because it's going to be a whole sidetrack from what you're talking about. So.
Okay, but yeah, I can't help but be really kind of just mad on his behalf. But
I don't even think the word is mad. I think it's
disappointed.
It's
disappointed, but not surprised.
And it's not like I expected the parents to do something.
Of course not.
Okay, but it's the callous way in which they don't care. I think is the part that really bothers me. Like, it's like, great.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Sure. Of course. Yeah. But then, like, by contrast, I did like the fact that they had like a scene with Lucienne and Morpheus like later, where like she basically was like, you know, like.
Was that in this episode? I can't even remember.
It was right at the end of this episode. Like, we can't choose our parents, and like I and that type of thing. Like, it's not like, it's not your fault that they don't, like, not every parent is like that. And honestly, I found that really nice, really sweet. And like, she's always there for him. Like, all of the people, the main people that we see like in the dreaming, like, they're always like there for him, and it's really nice.
Well, that's why they're like a family.
There's like it's nice. It's nice. But anyway, that was my thoughts on that episode.
Okay, so me. All right, so the first thing I said here is I don't believe that Dream would have gone to time and space, and night.
Yeah.
If Nuala didn't ask him to.
No.
I don't think he would have bothered.
No.
To be honest, I don't.
Yeah.
Because she was her sort of pushing him, like, well, who makes the rules, and who this and who that, and, well, my parents make the rules, kind of thing, right? I doubt he was expecting anything from them. I really don't. Like, as angry as you could be about the fact that they didn't.
I mean, it's like he didn't really even. He
I don't
said,
think
he went with the intent to just, like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think. I think when he, like, and I don't even quite believe that either. Because he went because Nuala wanted him to go. Yeah. So I think that...
Because he didn't go in the original comics,
I think
Nuala didn't push him to do that.
Well, and I think it was an important plot device. But I think going there, I think he's just so, I mean, like they say later on in the other episodes that he's like suicidal, right? So, because I don't even think he's thinking about it. It's like, I'm here because Nuala made me come here. So why am I here? I think he's like, I was under the impression that he was even considering why he was there while he was there, because I know he didn't expect them to do anything, which is why he never intended to go there anyways. But I guess to say goodbye is kind of the thing, right? So I guess that would be why he sort of agreed to letting Nuala push him there. You know, and instead, you know, not only did they, and I think this is the thing that really got me. I mean, there's one thing to not be sympathetic or tell your child that you love them or whatever it is, whatever. But they did exactly the opposite. You know, they blamed him for everything. Kind of, you know, you know, I always liked Destiny, and I gave Destiny the book, and you know, and meanwhile,
like all my children ask things from me, go away.
You know, it is just like dumping on him, like, and meanwhile, like, you know, that he was trying to execute his function because he thought that's how he was going to make his parents.
That's literally what
happy.
he said to
you know,
like,
and it's just like, oh, well, you're this and you're that, and so it's not even like, I think I would have, even if they were just ambivalent to him, but it wasn't. It went further than that. It was like, not only are they not ambivalent, but they blame him for everything, like everybody else does. Like, I'm like, are you kidding me? Right. So this is the thing that really irritated me. Right. So, and anyways, so, and then I think, okay, what did I say here? I believe he thought he attended to his duties and stayed focused because then at least he'd be doing what his parents wanted him to do, you know, and that's so I wrote that down. Realize again how much he's grown. Right. He recognizes that his son loved him no matter what. And then he sort of recognizes that in himself, I think, too. And that's why he kept doing these duties, even though, like, as you see him changing, you can see that he's doing his duty and he's almost using it as an excuse now to sort of hide himself. But before, I think he was really genuinely doing it because that's the only way he could show that he loved his parents. And you know, and then he just sort of became consumed in that over the centuries, right, or eons that he'd been doing that. So, and then where were I? Realize again, okay, no matter what, and to add to the fact that time was saying that it wouldn't have mattered anyways. Like, you know, even if I had intervened or if you had done this, it wouldn't have mattered anyways. And I mean, but that's not the point, right? I mean, here you've got time saying this, but that's not the point, right? I think Dream already knew that's why he didn't go there. That's why he didn't go to Hades on behalf of his son, because he knew that there was going to be no good end out of it. He already knew that.
And
he
just was trying to desperately convince his son, please don't do this.
And time throwing that in his face, it's like, that does nothing for me because I already knew that. Like, I really wish he just would have put voice to that. Anyways, here, not sure if he figured out that Loki and Puck would mess with his plans. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm saying I don't think so. Like,
you really think that Dream was that naive to think that those two would not try to mess with his plans?
I just didn't think he knew exactly how.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know why he even asked them in the first place.
Yeah, I don't know. That's why, like, he's so smart.
Something's so important.
He's so
why do you
smart
even ask them
that,
to do that?
this is like, I'm almost thinking that he almost like, I don't know I don't even know, but there's something about that is weird. And then I said, I believe he did something with the jewel to Nuala. I still don't know what it is.
No, you know what it was. It was the boon.
Yeah, but I don't know what, like, I like at this point, I know now.
Okay.
At this point, when I was watching this, I felt that there was something, like, I was thinking maybe he's hiding some of the dreaming in there or some of his powers in there.
He told her what it was.
That doesn't mean he's not been forthcoming to everything.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying here. And I really feel like he would, and it doesn't surprise me that he's trying to protect people in his realm or beings in his realm ahead of himself. That is all on brand. And I already said everything's sad. Okay. All right. So
next
episode. This is only getting worse, by the way. You're going to see my anger increasing as we go through this. Okay. So then now it's my turn to do the beginning of the next episode, Fuel for the Fire, episode 8 or 19.
That's an ominous name.
Well, that was the thing. I was like, I mean, at the end, you know why. It's like, anyways.
Anyway.
I think to me this was a really powerful episode. I think this is one of the most powerful episodes in this series because of the symbolism symbolism that's in here. And in fact, I think for me, my favorite scene, which is gonna maybe surprise you, is the one where he's sitting with despair.
Oh yes. Okay.
When Dream is sitting with despair.
I was going to say that actually as well.
And I think, oh, were you? Okay.
Yeah, somewhere.
That surprised me. But yeah, because, I mean, this is just feels, right? Here he is, and he's like despairing so much that he just can't function. And, but there's a quote, and I was trying to find the exact quote. I should have just gone and watched it again. But okay. She says something like, despair says, "This is the place before you're ready again to come up for air," or something like that. Which underlines the fact that despair is needed. And in a way, despair is sort of, as unpleasant as it is, it's sort of a place to heal because it allows you that space to despair, right? But I don't think he's ready to come away from there, but he gets distracted because what she sees. And he sees that Loki, of course, with Puck is done what they did. So again, Dream again is always expected to be perfect and it's always supposed to solve everybody's problems, but and this is the thing that's really starting to irritate me.
Main character.
He's always criticized.
Main character.
And but the thing is he's forgetting is that there are people that do care for him, and this is what coming back to his family and the dreaming. And Nuala will definitely play a part to send him off well, I think. I'm hoping. Because I mean he's gonna die. Anyways, Lyta Hall, in a way. Lyta Hall. Okay, I don't like her.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Just the thing is, it's just like, and when I wrote this, I hadn't fully articulated why, but that comes out in the next episode, so I'll save it for that. But at this point, I'm like, this person is irritating. All right. So I mean, that you wouldn't have this child if it wasn't for the dreaming. So big surprise, right? Like, like and this is certain. And I'm going to come back this. So Dream is absolutely right that she cannot protect him, right? There's no way, a mother needs to recognize that, right? I mean, this is not a normal kid, and she was there when he was created, so she knows that this is not a normal situation. Yes. So big surprise, right? Like this is the thing. Like, and I think. I mean, being a mother, you cherish every day that you do have, right? Like it's not like that. And this is a thing about this character. And if she's written like that in the comic books, it's to me a flaw.
Okay.
And I'm going to get into it. I'll get into it. You can explain all you want, but there's a fundamental thing here that I don't even think I had not voiced to you yet that I really find irritating.
Continue.
But we'll get to it.
Okay.
All right. So although, even though, here. So why not? Like, then this is the thing. Why wouldn't Dream then offer her a place in the dreaming? Right? So it's just, I'm going to take your son. I'm going to take him. And I mean, he could say why, but of course, true to Dream's form, he never explains why. Yeah. And he probably should. But I mean, look at his parents. Both of his parents are assholes anyway. So I mean, big deal, right? So he's not explaining to her. I mean, there's so many different ways he could have, and this again, now that's on Dream. All right. So he could have, as a character, could have handled that
because obviously he didn't think that it would be this soon.
Even so, you communicate. You at this point he knows. Like, I know he's in despair now, and he's not the person that he's grown into. He's sort of reverting back at this point because he's just trying to heal himself. So in the character's defense, there is that, but I mean, you don't just tell a human mother that you're going to take their son and not explain what the hell's going on.
Okay, but
right?
Also he is neither human nor a mother.
No, he's not. But he's. My point is that he's grown enough to understand humans enough to appreciate that.
I don't know.
And he was there when this child was conceived, right? So so he had a hand in that, so he's sort of responsible about it, right? So I mean, he could have handled this in so many different ways, and I understand as a plot device, Lyta Hall's a plot device at this point, and that's why that wasn't handled better. But I mean, there could have been so many different ways that this could have gone down, right? She could have a place in the dreaming with her son and go in and out as she pleases, even with him, right? I mean, really, I mean, he's that powerful. He could do that, right? Sure. But anyways, that's not what happened. Even if Rose is the partner, could even have Rose there. I mean, that's a thing, right? So
well, no, she's like a friend, but
but they're closer than friends. I think.
But I think the reason probably he probably could not do that with Rose is because she is technically kind of related.
I don't know. He could do anything he wants
to him, but okay. Anyway,
so there is that.
Okay.
So anyways, so this is like fans sort of suppose, and right, anyways.
Sure. Okay.
But ultimately it could have been handled differently. Puck and Loki, really not sure if he killed the child or what, for whatever reason. I doubt that at this. I mean, now I know because I saw the next episode. But at this point, I'm like, what the hell, right? He's just so callous and cruel, and I mean Loki, right? But I mean that goes past being a trickster, But anyways, and then Joanna, Joanna's gonna get the job done. You know it. And I'm certain, and at this point I'm thinking, I'm certain that the Corinthian, is at this point I was thinking that that Lusania's right about resurrecting or bringing back the Corinthian.
Yeah, like that's gonna be bad. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's funny, like my attitude changed completely in the next episode.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. But at this point I'm thinking, there's a
like
reason.
Matthew, you're like, what are you doing?
There's a reason that he brought the Corinthian back specifically for Joanna in my head, and I was just like, there's a reason that this is a pairing, and then we'll get into that for the next episode.
Okay.
And the other thing the only thing I would just want to say, this is an aside, not from the plot, about things that I was thinking about while we were watching this. Very good with the eyes. The acting is great, right? So I mean, especially
it's all in the eyes.
It's all. Pardon the pun. It's all in the eyes, and I did think that when they said that because because it's true, right? It's all in the eyes.
Like Corinthian is like one of the few characters that you cannot see the eyes.
Yeah,
but he does like crazy with weird things with the eyebrows and stuff. But so
but that's the thing. Like Tom Sturridge or whatever his last name is, excellent. I mean, he's acting only with his eyes basically. You can read them, especially in the next episode. I was like, oh my god, what? But he's so good. Okay, so I don't know what people say about him online, but he is awesome.
I think
as an actor to do that, and I think I mentioned this to you, and like the hardest part is if you don't see the eyes on film, and that's where we were talking about the Mandalorian, right? And we were just sort of like an aside. We should do a podcast, and we never did.
When the movie comes out,
but the whole thing with Pedro Pascal, you can't see his face at all, and he's able to convey all of the emotions
it's all like
with
head
his physicality.
And stuff,
it's the physicality. Yeah. So, but here, Tom Sturridge is just doing it with his eyes because he's literally immobile.
Yeah. Kind of.
And it's
like
because
honestly, he's so long amounts of time.
The stoicism of the character, especially now. I mean, he was more in it, but now, so he's really conveying the despair that he's in because he's just paralyzed, basically. Kind of. Okay. So he was stoic before, but now he's super stoic. So, but I think it's great. Okay, you go ahead.
Okay,
for this episode.
Yeah, I can't read what
I can.
Okay, it was the same thing that you were saying. I really like the scene with Morpheus and the spirit because actually because it kind of like in the comics it kind of just flowed into that, and like when he was leaving the island, both like I think Despair and Delirium were both there, so Despair appeared at that point.
Oh, so it's sort of a different order.
It's like a slightly different order, but I did like that they kept that. And I like the fact that he apologized to her for like like he was like, oh
but the thing is, I think he's apologizing for himself all the time now, and I think he was probably better than he thinks he was.
And I feel
I'm sorry I was a lousy brother.
Most of the characters do feel that like, hey, like you don't need to do that and that type of thing. Like even it was this episode, right, with Hob.
Is he the second oldest? I mean, out of the guys.
No, I think
no, because I guess Destruction is older than him because he calls him little brother. So I guess is he the youngest of the?
Yeah,
he's older than Desire, right?
Yeah, so he's like kind of in the middle. Like I know
he's the middle child syndrome.
I think Destruction might be the oldest. I'm not entirely sure. I don't quite remember, but I know definitely Destiny and Death are older than Dream.
Yeah,
and I think Destruction is also. And then I know that Despair and Desire are both twins, and then Delirium's the youngest.
Despair and Desire are twins?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
Pretty much.
I guess that makes sense.
I don't know.
That's why I was like, how do I tell those two apart?
Yeah, they're
oh
both,
my god, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
They're both twins, and then Delirium's the youngest. Yeah, so he's like basically smack in the middle.
Oh, no, you said
Despair.
Oh, Despair and Desire.
Desire
I thought you said Delirium and Desire are twins
no.
because I can't tell those two apart. Oh, Despair, of course, yes.
Yeah. No, Despair and Desire.
Too many D's.
That's the point. That's the point.
I'm secretly starting to hope that Morpheus is going to become something that doesn't start with a D.
No.
Okay, well, damn it! Why do you have to tell me that?
Okay.
Okay.
Well, no, because it's a concept. He's a concept.
Okay, all right, go on.
Okay, anyway.
We'll get into what
but anyway,
and
then you can see like how low he is, etc., etc. And then I wrote Joanna's back ? And I was like confused as to why she was back because, and now in retrospect, now I know why she was back. I'll talk about it in the next episode. But I was like, why is she back? What is she doing here? Yes. Anyway,
she's back because people like her,
I guess. Yeah, and she's back because they changed some stuff. But anyway, I think that. Like, so then this goes back to the thing I was saying about grief and like grieving. In the comics, like Lyta spends a lot more time like just going about her daily life while grieving Daniel, and like because at that point she didn't know that he was gone, and like that he had been put in the fire and killed. So she spends a lot more time like just basically going through the motions and like kind of like pushing people away, and that type of thing. But yeah, so now I guess it would probably be a good time to explain. So. This is the one thing I do feel like didn't translate very well between the page to the screen, and because they changed such a significant amount of things. So in the source material, Lyta like does do the same thing. She goes like in like revenge whole type thing, but it was Morpheus did not go to explain that he did not take the kid. He hadn't done that, and like Loki and Puck's like involvement.
Yeah, but
with
here
that
he actually says that.
Less.
He says to her,
"Yeah,
I
so
did not take.
That's why I'm saying,
I do not know
that's
where
why
your
I'm saying,
kid is."
That's why I'm saying it doesn't translate quite as well because like they added that part where he went in and like actually talked with her, because
which makes me even more angry about this stupid character.
He didn't do that. He didn't do that in the source material, and she really had no idea what had happened. She had no clue. And then she just like the detectives went and visited her with the photo, and then she just was like completely like, you know, like as she was like completely like, I have to like get revenge on whoever did this, and it was set up in a way that she was also being manipulated kind of by the fates into thinking that like he had done this. Which did happen. I think did translate also. That did happen in the show as well, but it was a lot less. Like she had a lot fewer chances to like kind of like not do what she did because she.
Do you mean in the comic book?
In the comics, yeah. In the comics, she did not know that he did not take her. So that's like that addition didn't quite translate very well. I feel.
No, but it still doesn't get.
Yeah. So anyways, in the show, that's why. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, and and I said yes again. Puck more sympathetic in this episode, and I think even more so in episode 9. Interesting change. Anyway, yes.
Oh, he wasn't sympathetic in the.
No,
comic
he barely was there.
Okay, so he doesn't have an opportunity to be
not really. Yeah,
not that he wasn't sympathetic.
Yeah, he just kind of like very devious when he was there, but it wasn't as much of a big thing with both him and Loki. It wasn't really such a big thing like with both of them like we're doing this.
Okay.
And yeah, so then that like wow, I said wow, the scene with like Hob and Dream in like the scene with them. I really liked.
I didn't even say anything about that.
I really like seeing them. I think it's really
I
nice.
do hope that he has a big role to play in the end, but I because I think he's
maybe.
needed.
Yeah. And
But I think it's good that he pointed out to Dream that not everyone is perfect.
not everyone's perfect.
And it's really,
Yes.
you're just trying to be the best version of yourself, I guess, basically is what he's trying to say.
Yeah, and he said, I don't even know what that says. And then, oh yeah, and then, okay, yeah, and then, oh, okay, there we go, it's blending in, okay, yeah, and then I just really liked that scene. I thought it was very nice, and, like, the whole thing, like, with, like...
Anything with Hob in it is nice.
Yeah, and, like, everyone makes mistakes, and, like, even like, Morpheus even apologized to Hob for, like, I'm sorry that, like, for all of your losses, for your loss, and all that type of thing.
No, and he also apologized for the way in which... this happened.
The house,
because
happened,
it's like you were a bet between myself and my sister.
Yeah, but
and I'm
Hobbs
sorry
is like,
about that.
There's no, you don't have to apologize. Like, of course, like Hob being Hob, like of course, like I love living, even though all this stuff has happened to me.
Because that's part of life, right?
Sure,
So,
yeah.
and I mean that again, it goes back to what Despair was saying. I mean, and I think that he's really wise. And I mean, that actually, now thinking, that gives me an idea about a little bit more about how Orpheus could have become an oracle, right? I mean, because I keep thinking about an oracle as someone who must be ancient, but it's somebody who's understood about stuff, right?
Yeah. And like also probably due to the fact that like he is like literally like a kid of one of the endless, so he probably does have certain a little bit of like connection to the
still,
mystical realm.
He's got a level of understanding of how things work, because he isn't, unlike the rest of them, he doesn't leave the world, right?
Yeah,
I mean, he lives in it and he sees it
change.
change.
He has just as much time as anyone does. He has a lifetime, as Death says.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I do like, and again, like I've said this before, I'm gonna say it again. Dream is just more human. Like he this is an addition in the show. He releases Alex Burgess, and then he like. The added scene where he tries to
even so he had to
Leda,
reflect on
really
it.
work.
I mean, and I'm going to talk about this, but yeah,
but then also the added scene where like he literally goes out of his way to meet Leda and like reassure her that like I didn't take your kid, even though she doesn't believe him. But yeah, so but like I like the fact that they did add those scenes to kind of bring more humanity to the character and like really drive home the point that like he is different. He has changed.
Well, I mean, his siblings keep telling him he's changed.
Yeah.
Everyone
but he
tells him
doesn't
he's
really
changed.
believe it. And even the viewer believes it, but he's like, no, I don't think I have.
And I don't think it's like that. I think he never really thought about it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like,
Yeah, it's like this kind of thing you don't really realize it's happened until it has happened.
Well, I mean, just like, when Nada slapped him in the other episode earlier on.
He was like, I should, like,
he almost went all dream on her, but he didn't.
Yeah.
Because he knew he deserved it.
Yeah.
He deserved more. But anyways, that case, he deserved it.
Yeah. Anyway.
So now you talk about the next.
It's
your turn to talk. Okay, so you want. So the last. So episode 9.
It's literally like the kindly ones, isn't that?
Oh wait, I didn't say everything. Let me finish what I was going to say.
Oh, you didn't?
I had another page for that. I was going to say, like, wait a minute.
Oh, okay.
So let me finish that, and then you can go on with episode 9. I was thinking I had something to say about Alex Burgess, and I was like, wait, why did I? Okay. Okay.
Continue. Then I'll continue.
So with Alex Burgess,
okay.
I'm still on Dream's side with that. I still am.
Okay.
And if you go back and listen to our podcasts on season 1, I was on Dream's side for there. And I mean, it's up to Dream to decide how long he needs to suffer from that. But I mean, I'll actually read what I said here. He willingly kept Dream in prison. Not sure how long Dream intended to keep him asleep. That I don't know. But the punishment extended to Paul. And I think that's part of the reason that Dream was thinking about it more deeply, because it wasn't just Alex that was sort of imprisoned, so was Paul. Okay. And Paul's an innocent. And I know that Dream would understand that at this point.
Okay.
So, and then so I think that's part of, and then when Paul confronted him and saying, I thought you might let him go. And he sort of told him how difficult life has been as he's been sort of taking care of Alex, sort of, you know what I mean? He didn't come out and say it, but anyways. And then I said, we can only blame our faults, we can only blame our faults on our parents so far, right? Sure, I mean, and that's sort of the thing, like, there was that whole thing where you should feel a little bit of sympathy for Alex because but again, it comes back to And this is the theme that's
I
going
just
on.
think he was so scared of his dad.
No, but
but
think about it. And this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And this is what I wanted to bring out with this, is that this is a theme that keeps happening over and over here. Right. So ultimately, even though Roderick Burgess, right, was a jerk to his son.
Oh, you remembered his name.
I did.
Wow.
That's the thing for me. Alex still loved his father. Okay. And this comes back to that theme.
Yeah, okay.
The child still loves the father and is still trying to please the father, even though the father isn't there. Right.
Sure.
So his father had said to him, don't ever let him out. And so now he thinks, so he started, but again, this can only go so far. Right. So Dream has evolved past that. Right. He's like, I understand that my parents are never gonna, but I don't think Alex did. Right. So, because he could have let him out, right? And just saying, oh, he might have hurt me if I let him. I mean, but really?
Yeah.
You kind of, it's, that's on you, right? I mean, so there is that. But there comes over and over again. So Dream and his father, Dream and Orpheus, and then Orpheus always loved Dream anyways, even though he treated him so badly. And I think that this is really what is at the heart of him letting Alex go, because he's starting to, he understands now, because Orpheus taught him that. So Dream eventually forgives because he finally gets it. And I think that that's sort of, an aspect of that. So yeah, and then going this way, and then I thought Hob. Yes, no one is perfect, right? Also Despair, Orpheus. Everyone, like Despair was saying to him that Orpheus would often ask about him, and that proves again that he just loved his father and he understood where he was coming from. Anyways, I and then at the end, they're saying that about Orpheus, you must know that that this was going to cause your death. I don't think he did. I don't believe that Orpheus would have. Yeah. I don't think he knew I don't think the consequences of that.
Yeah. Willingly.
I don't. Or maybe he. I don't. Just that would be out of character. But I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. But I don't quite agree that Orpheus would have done that if he believed that his father would, and ultimately
and honestly I do feel like it would have been within the realm of possibility for Morpheus just to not tell him that.
Yeah, because he didn't tell him that.
Yeah, totally. Like he probably did not tell him that.
So I don't think Orpheus knew.
Yeah,
to be honest,
he might have known that the only way he could be killed is if like someone related to him did it.
Yeah,
but
because
he probably didn't know the consequences were.
Because that's what they do. That they're in charge of that, right? So anyway, so that was it for me for that episode. So you go on with episode 9, the kindly ones.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the first thing I realized, like, wow, everyone's really just dropping like one-liners this episode that are like really just so like deep and like meaningful and or like really just like hilarious. And so like the first one was when Lucienne said that like like everyone has to like make a decision like every time that they're like every day of their lives, like our time might be limited but you get to choose how you spend it. Like wow, that was deep. And then also with Gilbert like saying that like there's no greater like that like Morpheus having to kill his son was like still like really like
that was an act of love,
huge expression of love. Yeah,
because he knew because when
he knew that he was like basically dooming himself.
Yeah.
But like he did it anyway, and like I just really like the one-liners that people were dropping this episode. I think I'm gonna talk about like another one later on, but yeah, I was actually wondering because I noticed like every time that like Loki is on screen, including when he was disguised as Morpheus, and then also like in some previous episodes, like there's always like this weird like chanting type thing, and I'm honestly wondering what they're chanting. I have no clue what they're chanting.
I didn't even notice that.
You didn't notice that?
No.
But it's very, very obvious. It's very obvious. Like it's uncomfortably obvious. I'm just literally writing down what are they chanting.
I'm gonna have to go back.
Okay.
Like,
well,
really?
Anyway,
Right.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, so I was just wondering like what are they chanting? I need to listen to the soundtrack and figure out like what is it.
Okay, so let's listen afterwards because I don't know what they're.
But yeah, I really wrote down, oh no, I do not like the energy between Joanna and the Corinthians, but it is hilarious. Like the bus scene and I'll be keeping those in reference to her eyes. Like I don't like it, but it's so funny. Like I can't help it. Like I do like it, but also I don't.
Or
like
that
it.
whole thing with Puck saying, "Oh, you're one lucky woman."
Like, okay. yeah, so the reason
woman.
the reason I was saying that I was a bit surprised is that because so in the comics, actually, and I did not mention this in the last episode, but I really did I always like all the outdoor scenes where you see the sky and stuff. I liked how that translated to the screen from the page. I liked that. It was really nice. But also, so in the comics, and actually it was funny because Matthew, when Dream was recreating the Corinthian, said I hope I'm not babysitting him. It actually was Matthew in the comics. It was Matthew and Corinthian that went out.
Okay.
It was not Joanna. That's why I was confused. Why is Joanna coming back? It was because it was Matthew and the Corinthian. But
I guess because it plays better.
Yeah, I guess it plays better. I wanted more Matthew. I still wanted more Matthew. I was looking forward to that because I specifically wanted more Matthew. But oh well. But yeah, so that's interesting. So it's interesting with that energy that's going on there. I don't know what to think about it, but
well, you know what to think about it because Dream essentially said to her that you need to have that love. You need that love.
Yeah,
and that's what her. I guess Lady Constantine would be her grandmother.
I think so. You're great.
Anyways,
something I don't know.
She got it.
Yeah. And actually, I wrote this down later, but I'm gonna just say it now because it works. The scene between Lady Joanna and Orpheus and Joanna and Corinthian, the whole could I see you again? I don't think that would be a good idea, like that. And then she literally Joanna was looking at the journal, which I'm sure is where it was written it down, and she was smiling.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I think that was intentional. That was definitely intentional, and I was thinking that parallel. That is a very interesting parallel. But the roles are almost reversed. Yeah, but it's really funny.
They're not almost reversed.
Well,
they are reversed.
They were reversed. Yeah. Anyway, but it was just interesting to see that parallel.
I didn't know. Well,
so maybe she has a deeper understanding of her ancestry now. But yeah. So I wrote that down, just saying that now. And I going back to the whole thing with Lyda, and I know you're gonna say more about this. I do think that she knew that Dream didn't take Daniel, but she did say earlier on that if anything happens to him, she's basically gonna hold Dream responsible, because it was kind of I guess.
And again, another reason I don't like this character.
I guess I was thinking,
it's just so.
Let me finish. I guess she was probably thinking that the whole weird fantastical way in which Daniel came to be, she kind of almost sees Dream to almost blame for that. I'm not saying she was right about that, but I do think that's what she was seeing. So therefore, the whole all these supernatural things and mystical things that are happening to her and especially to Daniel are kind of his fault, even though that's misguided. But that's kind of what I was thinking. And so therefore, even though she knew that he didn't actually he didn't kill her kid, so why would he do that? And he didn't, or at least he didn't take her kid. She still felt the fact that he was he has an interest in him in general, that Dream has an interest in Daniel in general, is what caused all of this to happen. Therefore, she was she was angry and she needed some place to put it.
Are you trying to defend this character?
No, I'm not trying to defend her. I'm just trying to say what I think her reasoning was. Anyway, before you go into your whole anyway.
My rant.
Yes. Yeah, and then again, and as I was saying earlier that I said I'd say about this later, I'm so angry that Nuala is just trying to help. She's trying to help. She really wants to help, and she just gets thwarted all the time by everyone.
Her brother. It's
always Clarican. It's always Clarican. And then this last thing.
This guy's an idiot.
This last thing when Titania summons Morpheus, and Dream is you do me a disservice, Nuala. And she's no, it's not her fault. And I think he knows it wasn't her fault, but
not when he first got there.
No, of course not when he first got there, but yeah, anyway. And yeah, and then this is I think this is slightly out of order, but you really can see Delirium's eyes when she's talking to Morpheus. And in this scene especially, because I know we've said in the past you can't always see her multicolored eyes, but in this scene I really noticed it, and he actually smiled,
Yeah.
which was so. It's what made the end of
and
this
that's
so
what made
much
that's
more
why it made
heartbreaking.
it more impactful, right?
He literally smiled. It's
Yeah.
the first time he's ever shown like any kind of emotion, really.
Well, in this season.
Yeah, like or
He
any
did
kind
in
of
the
like
last season,
really
but-
like very positive emotion.
Yeah.
And like he keeps smiling.
It's like magic when it happens, right? Because it's just like,
Yeah, and then he's like he's almost like slightly confused. He's like, wait, what?
yeah,
But,
because he
yeah.
caught on right away.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but then like no, then later the destinies like they all combine. It's much better.
Yeah, but you don't know
together.
which destiny they
What-
combined into.
What will be basically.
Yeah, but you don't know which destiny that was combined
No,
into.
we
It could have
don't
been
know,
any of
but
them, right? So you don't.
We
know
have
which
no
one.
idea. But
No,
then
I mean, we know that this is going to happen, but
Of
you
course,
don't know
yeah.
how.
Yeah.
You don't know if it was the same one as
Yeah.
what was started, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
eventually there's going to be a path that's followed, right? So, anyways, so there's that. Are you done?
I am done.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So for
I
me,
hope she finds her dog.
uh,
She probably will. But I'm honestly.
I would
wondering-
assume so if they're going to start that in
Yeah.
the plot that,
Yeah.
of the show that there's got to
Yeah.
be a. They eventually have to
Yeah.
find the dog. Dog's probably with destruction.
No.
Yeah, dogs
no.
know their way home.
No,
Anyways,
no.
we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. Okay, we'll see. And let me just make sure I don't have anything on the other page. Okay, I don't. It's one.
Maybe
It's a
he's
one
with
pager.
Mad Hetty, because she has all the dogs, right?
Oh.
Because in the original. Like,
Oh,
she's
which
with-
was the dog that was running around? Oh, I didn't
No,
pay attention to that.
No, I don't.
The
thi-
dog that was
I don't
running around the
think I
bed.
saw- I don't think that was him.
I don't know. I didn't pay
I don't
attention.
think
I
that's
was
what
just
it
thinking
was.
dogs.
Yeah, but that's the only place he could be, right? Or he's just like out there somewhere. I don't know. But like that would make
Maybe.
sense.
Oh,
Because
shoot,
that's why
we
she
should
has
go
all
back
the
and
dogs.
look.
That's why she has all the dogs, right?
We should go back
Maybe.
and look.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But
You know, and sending Goldie along with her. Anyways.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So all right. I'm someone that doesn't like to watch a slow moving destruction thing happen. Train wreck. I'll just put that out there.
Sure, okay.
Right now I'm reading, if you know the Dark Tower series, I'm at the end of Wizard in Glass and is taking everything I can to finish it. I've got friends that want me to finish it. If you're listening to this podcast, I'm going to finish it. But it's the same thing.
Okay,
I know.
continue.
And here I am
Continue.
watching this,
Yes.
and I'm like
Well, it's my
going,
fault, sorry.
I'm like, nope. I literally, nope. This would normally be the time when I would have to stop watching something. Okay. At the end of.
Well, don't you want to know what's going to happen?
You know what's going to happen. Anyways.
No, but do you want to know
just let
how
me-
it's going to happen?
No.
Okay, well, then-
I don't.
Okay, I don't want to say that.
But we will watch it. I will finish it.
'cause we're almost
Okay.
done. Yeah.
Okay. It's just too much sad and too much depression for me. I'm like, really.
Okay.
But I'll try to get through this. We have one more podcast. We're gonna do this.
Yeah.
So, Lyda Hall equals stupid. I wrote that down. Dream told. Let me just read what I have. Okay. So Dream told her he doesn't know where Daniel is. This plays, and this has been a theme on other podcasts here, that this is the kind of thing that makes me crazy. This plays into the trope that women are driven by passion, and they're too stupid to know that they're being played. Think logically, woman. Why would Dream kill her son? I mean, he literally just said, "I would like to have him in the dreaming." There's no
I don't know.
logical.
There's
Just
like,
no.
if he's dead,
But it just falls right into that stupid woman trope, and it makes me crazy.
Okay.
So here I am. Logically, why would Dream kill her son? He is in fact in fact Dream wants him. So there's no reason that he would ever do anything to harm him, because he wants him. Right?
Okay.
So this is completely illogical, right? There's no point in killing him, right? So now she's in the dreaming, destroying it and killing innocent creatures.
Yeah. Oh, poor Gilbert.
Yeah, Gilbert.
Yeah.
I mean, destroying innocent things.
Yeah.
Like going on doing that, right? And at this point, she doesn't know this yet, but there's nothing human left in her son, and that had nothing to do with Dream.
No,
actually.
I do feel like
that was all
I do
Loki.
feel like the kindly ones are like the phase. Like I'm
gonna get into that.
Okay.
All right,
I think
there's
purposely-
something else going on
they,
here.
They are purposely trying, like they need to
there's
exact
some, and
revenge,
there's
so they're
something,
trying
and I was
to-
going to ask you,
Yeah.
do the kindly ones have a thing for Morpheus in the comic books? Because there's clearly something else going on here.
Yeah, they
They
need
have
to
a-
get revenge.
They want to get after him.
Yeah,
There's a
be-
thing
because,
there.
Yeah, because that's like the rule. You kill family. You spill
No.
family. you gotta
Aside
die.
from that, and I'm going to get to that because I'm going back here. So the Furies, going to call them that because that's what they deserve. The Furies
well,
clearly want to kill Dream.
Yeah.
And it's the gray-haired one is so eager to do that. I don't know if there's different names for them, but the one with
the maiden's the youngest one, the mother's the middle one, the old one is the maiden, the mother, and I think the crone. I think
so. Whatever her name is, she's super eager. She's the one that cut the thread, even when the others said that they should wait.
Yeah.
So she has like a personal vendetta on Dream. There's something that she wants to do.
Well, they're all the same person.
Well, they're different natures of the same person. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We could look at it that way, right? So again, rules. Really?
I forgot to mention that. Because now we see why Mad Hetty is there. So she is replacing that one character from that they cut.
The character that I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. And you know, like I would like to see Death come in and get them because everything comes to an end, right? Death is the one that's going to close the door.
Yeah, but I guess we don't.
So that's the thing. Who yeah. All right, like these are things that are really starting to get to me. The only good thing here was that Dreams had that brief smile when Delirium said that there were so many destinies.
Yeah.
That little thing
like,
there.
Oh, you're smiling.
And oddly, the Corinthian. I actually like the dude. Give me more Corinthian.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just like what's going on here. You know, and then here I figured that Dream wanted to give him to Joanna because he knows that they'd be a good match. He's playing matchmaker.
So weird.
Loki burning Mrs. Shore is just like, really?
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, yeah, and then when it comes coming back to Lyta Hall, you know, even Mrs. Shore, like I said, hell, even she could tell something was up, right?
Yeah, sure.
You know, like, so it's just like, you know, I hope Lyta, is it Lyta or Lyta? I hope Lyta realizes in the end that she made a mistake.
Yeah.
But I assume not.
Yes. No.
I hope she does.
I think she probably will.
Because if it wasn't for Dream, she wouldn't have the son in the first place. All right, that's the reality.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it wasn't for Vortex.
Yeah, but if that didn't exist,
sure.
She conceived in the dreaming, according to what you're telling me. So that because I can't remember that episode. And then here, this whole thing with Nuala and Tatiana, that again is ridiculous. Like, really, they should know better. Again, playing into that sort of dumb woman trope thing.
Okay.
It's just like, really, come on. Mm-hmm. They know that the fates are after him. Like, why would you do? Why would you summon him now? Because it's a plot device.
Well, Nuala didn't want to. It wasn't her
fault.
fault.
I know that, but I feel like, you know, women's like supposed idiot, you stupid is being used as a plot device at this point in the episode, and that's another thing that really bothers me. Like, they could have made all kinds of different choices. Mm-hmm. You know, should we call even with that? Should we do that? Maybe that put him in danger, but no. Let's just do that because it's what I want to do. You know, like, you know, I that, you know, so on top of how depressing this episode is, there is like so many of these little irritants that are, you know, and believe me, I still like the series. That's not a thing, but I just feel like
I think it's a combination of, because some things did not translate from page to screen.
Yes,
and also
but the thing is, this comes back, and I don't know who wrote this. I don't know if it's Jamiechilds wrote this.
I think I think he directed it.
I didn't pay attention to who wrote it, but anyway. I feel like that they're relying on this plot hook as so many other series do, and it's to the point where in this, I mean, look, you know, these people don't know women that well, all right? Okay. So it's just like,
this is the thing when I was watching it, I don't really know. It's that kind of thing.
Yeah, but I do, it's probably because I'm older than you, and I see it over and over again in my life, and I'm like, why do we have to do that now in Sandman? It's so good, and now we're relying on that as a plot device to move this forward, and I feel like
because that is what originally happened.
Yeah,
so
well,
they're slightly limited by like the fact that they are an adaptation.
Yeah,
and they can't change it.
But you said that
they change it that much.
You said that they've made certain changes. So those choices, and from what you told me, those changes were choices.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because in the show, Dream visited her, and you're saying in the comic books he did not. So in that case, that would be a different story. But here, all right, they've added that. Sure. So that makes it a plot device.
The reason why they did add that was because they changed a lot more than like they changed like
yeah. But the thing is,
context
but
and
if
set
you
a
make,
lot of-
but
lot of
now
things.
it's coming out as a plot device. And,
Sure,
you know,
yeah, okay.
if what you're saying is true in the comic books, then it's not, right? Because she didn't know any better,
yeah, kind
right?
of. At least from what that's how I interpreted it.
Right. So, but
Yeah.
now, I mean, really, like, so it's like, you know, and this is not a, you know, she's a smart woman, right? She's not like, you know, anyways. So that's sort of it. And it's really hard for me to watch the last 3 episodes, but I will do it.
Okay. Well, it's really just the last. It's the next one, and
Oh yeah, so 2 + 1, right?
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
So we'll do
probably
this.
the next one's going to conclude, and then the last one's going to be like the tying everything together. Probably.
Maybe I don't know, but we'll do it, and you know, but this is, and I mean, like it doesn't distract from the fact that the whole story is good, and like this is just this one episode. It just got to the point.
Yeah,
this
sure.
would be the time when normally I would be like, hey, I'm done.
You said that last episode.
No,
Yes.
Well-
you said that last episode.
but this
Okay.
is like,
Anyway.
but this got me, like, this one pushed me over the edge. I was just sitting there going, nope. But yeah. So we'll see how it goes, and hopefully by the end of the next podcast, I will change my thoughts on that. But we will continue, and yeah. So, do you have anything else to add other
Nope.
than the fact that you're trying to dissuade me from
Yep.
the way I feel about it? And yeah,
I just really
will.
want you to give the conclusion a chance.
I
don't know what exactly
you,
we're
but
gonna
you
do,
don't even
but
know what that's going to be.
I know generally.
we all
what's gonna
know
be.
that. I mean, I don't think it's a secret that Dream is going to come to an end. But
Like, generally,
in
I know
whatever
big
it is.
picture what will happen.
But-
But
but
I'm
the-
not sure exactly what they will do because they've changed quite a bit.
yeah, so
But
we'll see how it goes down.
yes.
But yeah, so that's sort of like, because I don't know the comics, and in on a side note, I will finish Wizarding Glass as well this week. So. This is going to be a tough week. But yeah, so then we will continue this with the next podcast, and yeah, maybe one. But you haven't read Dark Tower, so
No.
that can't be another podcast.
You can do
But
it by yourself. We can do things separately. We can do
yeah, I
separate
podcasts,
podcasts.
but we haven't done that before.
Let us know if you want us to do separate podcasts.
Separate podcasts. You can do 21 Pilots, and I can do the Dark Tower.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's more fun when we talk about it together, because otherwise it's just me being a talking head and people supposedly listening. No, conversation's better. But yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna go see 21 Pilots again.
Well, actually, by the time this...
Yeah.
airs is-
Oh yeah. Well, by the time this airs,
By the time this airs, it'll be like several months
will
ago.
have already seen
Yeah.
21 Pilots again. And
Yeah.
we did a podcast last year. Or was it this year? No, it was last year.
Yeah, it would have been last
Because we
year.
saw it last year. So I guess, but when did we air that podcast? Because
I think it was also last
because I put the podcasts up and then they come in times. But yeah, we saw 21 Pilots in Toronto last year, and we're gonna see 21
Yeah.
Pilots in Toronto again this year,
Yeah.
2025.
And it will probably be a while because they are going on break
Well,
for an indefinite amount of time.
well, so maybe we'll talk
Undefined
about
amount of
21 Pilots.
Yes.
But
I
we'll see.
can do something about the new album. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway.
This one lights up as soon as they 21 Pilots. 21 Pilots.
Okay. Anyway.
Okay, so there we go.
Not
All right.
important. That's
Not
this
important.
podcast.
So we'll see, but stay tuned. We'll do another podcast on the end of the last 3 episodes of Sandman season 2, and that will come up shortly. Well, I don't know. Shortly, I guess after this one. Shortly after this
Yes.
one airs, according to our plan.
Yes.
With a smattering of Andor in between and something else, but we'll see.
Something else.
So other than that, we'll end here. And as usual, we want to thank you for being part of the Birds on Power Lines podcast.